Hi everybody, it's your girl Jess, your Street Fighter bestie, and we are here taking a look at all of the class rank official videos. I believe we have 4. We have the rookie, the sub leader, and the leader. So I'm very pumped for that. I did recently look at Criminal, how they picked the choreo, who took it. So it makes a lot of sense. So I'm curious as to how the visuals are going to match who ended up stealing choreo with the content as well as the fits and overall production of the spot. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Forward, the rookies.
This is cute. Like on an eyeball. That was really cool. So that looked like Minga's choreo, yeah? Cute. I'm glad they kept this in. On a cloud. This is very smart. Because you have 2 of these courses, so it makes sense to do 2 different choreos. That's great. Cute. Look at that. Directed by Virginia. And looking presented. La da da da. La da da da. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. I mean, we know like who choreographed it and everything because we just watched that whole episode. Cool. Okay. In general, some of the actual cinematic choices, and I don't think that's really on Virginia. She directed the stuff, but like some of the camera shots, I'm like, yo, that is not the best camera shot we could be doing. And I'm not talking about like to the hips or anything. I'm talking about like just panning or just seeing just bodies. We don't have structure behind them, and I don't think that's her. I like how we're on the phone. They're like, we're twirling her hair. We love the energy. We're here for it. Let's go. They're like, oh, okay, we're on the phone. This does feel like we're on an eye, so I like this. Dun, 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 dun. So that right there matches. Dun, 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 dun. Perfect for a group of 6. Love it. Go back in. And honestly, because we have a group of 6, you know, it looks great. We love it. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. Walk, 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 walk. And all this here, this was so cute how they go and they pull her like that. Zing, 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 na, na. That's so cute. Also, we have our salad members in these groups too, because you have a group of 6. So it would be, if we know the drama of salad, they will be back, obviously, because they wouldn't be in these if they didn't. And we saw them in the K-pop challenge too. So, but anyway, this whole little mess right here was so cute with the leans. We love it. And how she drops down, and I like how the hands guided it and her head matched it as they drop, and it was such a fun reveal. Lifting the arms up. The framing on that, like, that's good direction. That was a really good call. She comes back up. I love the little whimsical kind of transition. It's cute. Now this right here, boom, dun, 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 dun. I think it's Minga's, right? That's what they ended up doing, possibly. I mean, I learned this stuff already. Boom. Dig, 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 which is nice. Boom, down. Ta-ta-ya. Swish. Boom. And so all the same, down. I like the levels on here. They look over. I like the little accent right here is cute. Switch. The timing could be a little bit better. Down, we're down, ding. Now here. Marshmallow ride. So this is nice. I like the pan over. Same choreo as what we've already kind of seen with the pulls. Really nice. Mellow ride taste. So into the every other diagonal looks great. Marsh digging in the shoulder. We love it. Swing, swing. And they go marshmallow, bass, 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 which is nice. Look at that lollipop coming up on the LEDs. So she gets to have her dancer moment. Let's go. The cuts on that is really cool. Now I'm curious if they dance in front of a green screen to get some of these little shots, because they're cool. But also they're like heavily like feathered, meaning that they could have pulled the footage here and they just masked it and did it that way. I don't know. I feel like that's a lot of work. I would just put them in front of a green screen and you'd get the same effect, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to like create logistics on like the behind the scenes of this, and I may find it in the music video. Nope, in the episode. We'll see. So all this right there. I love this moment of her sitting on the clouds with her waves. That was cute. Bringing it over. Ooh, come on, come on. On the ground, got a nice little floor work. Got a group of 4. The switch right there. Click, click, like with the head to complement that. And they go bring it in with the arm. We rotated it through. We come up. Sweet. Okay, what a tease. No, that's a good feature moment there. Swinging it through, down, ha, da, which is also really nice. Ooh, an anomaly. And I like the little body roll on that. It's super nice. Yep, and this is her choreo. So I think super smart to not do the same choreo for both. Honestly, do the original where it was and then do this one here, because you get the best of both worlds. You know, you're paying respect to the person who gave you you did her choreo to get main dancer spot for the opportunity too. So it's like, and your choreo was good as well. So they're complementary and we get to see that and it looks great, honestly. The bleed out is nice. And ding dong. I like the bing bong with the arms. Nice and accented, cute. And she does a little percussion on that too. To the chest. Doon, 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 da, da, da. And I like the little heart on this too. And I like the different angle choices on that was cute. Leaning in, boom, marsh, right there on the hip. So that makes sense. And go back up, marshmallow, right, and then the pull-throughs. I think it's because these little transitions don't match the music. Like, they're just going at random, but their choreography is structured. I think it's that, where I kind of get pulled away before I want to. So that's more of the post-video editing, and I don't think that's not on any of the members. It's not on Virginia for that. Marshmallow, right, and yeah, the pickup is nice. And the little sway, little body roll coming in, just what we've seen. Yeah. This is a fun little moment with these two. They bow away. They'll brush to a woe. Yeah, boom, marshmallow ride. Now, if I'm being real, I mean, as much as we're seeing Regina featured, where she is in her formations, you naturally notice her a lot too. So that would be, they either could be like, they're good friends, or I don't know how she was holding it down as well. I don't know any of that as much. Maybe the episode will explain that more. But I'm noticing that when Regina has like a duet, she's normally opted with her. And then she has her own little moment too. She just stands out in a good way. A little ta-na. Now that could be like the opposite, where it was just a hot mess in the drama side. I don't know. We're going to get into that soon. But this is really fun to see though. The swing and then the pull on that is fun. And the dig right there is nice with the shoulder. And this right here with the pose, which is nice. Everyone does their own little thing. But notice that she doesn't really stand out here. It feels complimentary as a group. She also has the Sully little leg warmer. If you don't know Sully, from Monsters Inc., Monsters Incorporated. Like that, they go back in, they make a little cute little apple heart, or like we're eating the heart. Super cute with the phone. Love it. Marshmallow. Love it. We're here for it. Yeah, so honestly, I think this was pretty great overall. And I don't see, if there was beef, I couldn't tell. So that's great. All right, next up, Breath. The subgroup. Let's go. How are they going to hold this down? Cool. 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 Okay. Outside of the obvious feature moments when it was just them two, they really did not stick out. So, which can attest to the fact it felt like a group, which is what you want. If I'm being completely honest, you don't want it to look like, oh, that person is stealing the show, unless conceptually you made it that way in the structure of your choreo, which they kind of didn't, which is absolutely fine. I like this because no one really sticks out until it's time for them to stick out, which is, it makes it more enjoyable. Now here, that was a cool little moment right here. I like the stacked levels on this. It's cool. I know whenever they have like whoever is your main dancer, they add something a little bit different to them, that everyone's got something in their hair. So even though we have this little extra draping gold on hers, and with the other girl too from Hanoi, it's not a big enough difference for me to like clock them as like, oh, they're the main dancers. They just feel like just a feature in that moment. You know what I mean? Which could be what they wanted. I like that little bleed. Wow. Looks nice. They bring it up and then they go expand it over right there. She goes breathe in, breathe out right there with the chest. Good ISO. The little tripod kind of shots where it's like nice and still in the corners. I like those. Those are fun. And look, they're keeping the choreo the same. Thank you. So they're paying tribute as well. So that's something for me. If I end up stealing a choreo, we make it work with what the choreo was, because that's what people are going to be familiar with in the public, right? And so I like that fact. It feels like a respectable thing to do. So far I'm really liking it. It looks good. And then right there with a little dip coming out of it. Boom. They do a nice little hip accent on that too. And then they do, I don't know if we were all supposed to be doing the same thing in terms of like the fullness of it and how they were hitting it and the dig forward. It's nice. Like no one sticks out really as a sore thumb at all in this, and that's always good. When you have people with so many different backgrounds doing a style like this and you can't tell, that's great. I like the choo choo, cool. Look. And there's your subtlety, boom. I like the lines, the columns are nice. I do think with the second line they could be a little bit lower so we can very clearly see the lines. I'd say this one's the most ideal out of them all, but I see the intention. It looks cool. Lift on that, and they bring it da-da-da-da-da-da. Nice little pull on that, and then they come up nice, and they go da-da-da-da. You go ha-da, and then down and up. And then bring it up, do-do-do-do, and drop down. I like that we had and kept this moment. Thank you. That was such a cool moment that she did. And that's what, like, that was freaking wild whenever she pulled that in main dancer. So nice little bleeding, accented moments. So everyone does get some time to shine. I always appreciate that because it's a team effort, right? Like, it shouldn't just be about your main dancers. The main dancers are there. They're just going to get the most screen time, but it's about celebrating the art of dance and showcasing it in Vietnam, you know? So that's cool. So right there, I like the connection with all the arms and the angles that they presented, clean and readable. The bleed is nice, and they go running out of time. So of course, with time, we're making it look like a clock with the hands, and they go. I like that with the shoulder, and I think the chest too looks very nice. And now right there, you have, of course, Hanoi. They hit it very well. They stick out in a good way there, which is cool. Taking it through, I'd say the diagonal is just a smidgen off right here. If we're going for it, it's off because she was too far out. Could be the logistics of the space, but at that point, that's where you as a director comes in and you move your group up so they can have room in the back. So that's my note there. A little shine, so they go around. Da, 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 da. I like that. That was cool. Everybody having their own little moment. Nice tutting section, which is cool on the setup. And now this track. It does have like that Egyptian type of influence. Now I'm not saying there's like timbre or anything like that equates to it. It does give that vibe. The color grade feels that way too. So having this does work very well. What else? I also think that with this tutting, it's clean, it's readable, it's nice, and I also think it makes sense why they would go with this because of how it sounds. Like that does give that similar to, you hear that kind of tone in music when you watch something that is pertaining to Egypt. You have that kind of tone sometimes. That's why I feel like I can see the association there. But right there with the wave through was nice, with the arms over to make it a thread moment. She comes up. I know you like that. Okay. I like the two groups, which is nice to come up. The body roll down, so they have them switched out. So that was really cool. And they melt it through, step it out. I like that swing, 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 which is nice. They turn, they go down into a dip, and I love how they brush up, so that's nice. Then you have them here. Yeah, so all this here, I'm feeling good tonight. Nice. So they can really pop off here, you know what I mean? It's nice. And they're doing a good job with the scoops on it. It's getting hot. I like the look. Now there, they didn't do a ton of partnering. I think they could have pulled that there, but I know they do it a little later, so that's fine. Breathe in, breathe out with the body rolls. Looks great. Inhale, exhale, blow out, blah, blah, blah. And I like the partnering here. So that was cool. I do appreciate that. Looks nice. And of course you have your V of people, right? Group of 6. Salads there too. Yeah, the body rolls nice. Body roll into the overheads with whacking looks nice. And the look through is nice. And they keyframed her face, and that's why it gave that impression where you can really see and it's locked in, and everything else just kind of moved and shook, which is cool. I like the every other on that with the columns. They're wearing some interesting glasses. Very steampunk. But now that little thread through was really nice. That and then you go right here, and it just feel like in a circle. Da-na-na-na. And then bring it around, so that's fun. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da. But the pulls are nice. But did I do every other pull? Let's look. Ah, come on. Yep, so I do like the levels on that. Da, 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 da. So they go and they push down to come up, and it does allow for the body to, reset, or it feels like subtly fixed pointed, which is cool. The pulls are nice. I wanted to see that, but I appreciate the aerial shot. The walk, I want you to see. And this was nice. Have your own little moment. She has her moment right here. Yep, get down. And of course they go side, side. Yeah, they do look like they're getting a little lower. And they melt out of it, which is cool. The little kick. Getting down. So I like the dig on that. Breathe in. So subtlety with the body rolls. Yeah, so it's a little bit quieter. They could have done something outside of just content, just like they did the beginning. They could have done something of that type of stature and subtlety, because the music has dropped out a smidge. So that would be my note, because it does look like content, so it's a hard, it doesn't feel like a true finish. It feels like, okay, our choreo is done. It doesn't feel like our concept is finished, if that makes sense. The video is what made it feel that way, not them. And so that would be my one note there too, in general. But I mean, this one they did pretty good. Once again, no one stuck out in a bad way, which means that is a successful video to me, because you have to think about the masses. If they go and they watch this and they haven't seen the episodes and they don't know them, it's like me with the K-pop challenge. I didn't know any of them, and so I'm going off of just what I see in front of me. That looks like, could they pull it, make it look like a group? Yeah, they could look like a group, and that's what you want in these types of things. And they had the harder job because they had twice as many people to navigate and delegate with, but they also had 2 people in charge, not just 1. So there's a little bit of that. So this is always fun to have a group of 2 kind of setting, and it makes me intrigued on the dynamics in the rehearsal space. Next up, Criminal by Orange. I'm excited about what concept they're going to go with. Is it going to be similar to what I was thinking, or what? So it is exactly what I was expecting. When I hear the sound, when I heard the song, this is exactly what I was feeling already. Classic, but mischievous. Yeah. I really like her pants. Guess who's not sticking out, everyone? Mayonnaire. Okay, so with this one, oh, that was cool, that was cool. I like the vibe of it. So if you've seen my choreo, I went with my fit, because I'm still wearing it, very like classy, mischievous, thievery vibe, which is exactly what the concept, it gives the impression that it was. Now, here's what I don't know. It's the only thing that I haven't really known about with the Street Fighter side. Do the dancers who get picked, do they get to pick what concept is shot? Or is that what is given to them and their choreo works with it? I don't know that. I'm assuming they get to cover, like, do all of it, which would make sense, or it would still feel like you don't have freedom and you can still run into problems. But this did in structure give the impression that Ko was orange, the artist, but how it was structured was like, we were kind of clashing between concept shoot, artist shoot, and dance group, which I feel like that's my biggest note with this one out of all of it, which I find interesting. Could it be because in my head I have a certain, like, if you're going with this concept, and I choreographed my choreo with this type of concept in mind, so there's an extra degree of expectation on how it's to be directed, and maybe that's what I'm bleeding into it there too? I don't know. And I think that's absolutely fine that I have that feeling. This is the most subjective I think I'm going to be on all of them because I've done a choreo with Jess on it. So the pickup with the red glove. Red gloves are super fun. She brings it in. Criminal. And this right here, I like it with the shadow. It's sick with the red. Like, this is such a sick visual with the black and white. And I also color graded my choreo in the black and white too. Oh my God, this is so fun. Okay, this is cool. So I feel more related to the actual video than I do the choreo. Wild. Okay, with this, because of this first shot, the first shot that we saw there, and then right here, she's setting it up to where, as the main dancer, she is the artist. Does that make sense? Which is fine. You see that often. But she doesn't stay there the whole time. That's not the role she stays in. And so that's why it feels disconnected to me a little bit. So with this little pocket right here with the pop, I mean, hey, you do you. We love it. It has a sound that hits it with the snaps. Yeah, right there. It's fun. The eat. Cool. The little shoulder roll. They have their little moment there. That works. They go back in. Da 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 da. I'm intrigued as to why she's not wearing a white top. It's interesting though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why she's not. Yeah, da da now. The hit is nice, so the subtlety there is super fun. But like, in all this right here, it feels like, okay, now we're in a dance group just like the rest of them, right? So we went artist, and now we're doing the dance group, and then they go, I like the little body roll to roll it down. My big note I will give here too is the chorus doesn't stand out as much as it did in the main dancer, because all of the verse feels like we're not, like, we tone set in like the intro, but we didn't continue to tone set in like essence. It feels like we're just wearing the fits and the costume of this noir classical thievery vibe, but we're not actually doing choreo that tailors to it. We're also going to chalk it up to, it could be because of where I am currently with how I feel with how I choreographed it as well. On this, because this is the exact concept that I was thinking. That right there with a little body roll, I love the dip out of that. That was cool. Now this was a nice shot, but once again, we're an artist, right? So I kind of feel like she needs to be in all the shots especially if it's a shot like this, it feels like a performance version. If you've seen K-pop, you've seen this. Performance version, you always have your feature who's singing. They're always featured in some way, so she needs to stay featured the whole time, but you can still have them featured as well by you being on the side, which is what you did in the very beginning. So here, I like this choice, but I felt disconnected, and now I'm right back to it. So they go da-da-da-da-da-da, so that's really nice. The little pull with the chest is fine. Do you see what I mean? This feels like a performance version now of an artist. They bring it through, nice little hips on that, with the twerking, and then we shows, that felt like such a JoJo Gomez thing to do. Oh my God. Yeah, I feel like, once again, performance version, and it's not balanced because you have somebody as your point, so you have 3 on this side and 2 on this side. That stuff doesn't bother me as much, but I will tell you, her fit too, if she's going main dancer, they all needed to be in black, because now you have other girls that are wearing something very similar. It feels like we're a girl group. So I think that's what I'm confused on, is that it doesn't feel cohesive in what we landed on. Like, are we going concept, that noir beginning? Like, that beginning was so freaking sick. I love it. But now it's like, okay, now it's a performance version with just choreo. And I don't know the turnaround time either, so that could influence it. And I don't know the beef, because if there was a lot of beef that happened, it can stifle and be a distraction for getting the job done. So the choreo's nice, but notice it doesn't stick out. It's not as focal pointed as much as it was whenever we watched them all compete with it, right? And I think part of it is because of how some of the choreo was structured in the groupings in the verse. Fine, I'm a criminal, criminal, And a little pop. Like, look at this. Like, this is so freaking sick. These shots, oh my God. With my stilettos on. Yeah. So all this right there with the stilettos with a kick, nice, going into the diagonal. But now she's right here. She's not in the peak, which is what you normally see. You drop down. Are we supposed to, was she supposed to blend in? I don't know. She deviated too much for it to give the impression that she was blending in the unison. Now this feels like a music video. Again. And it's still her right here. Bringing it over. I personally, yeah, so I'm going to stick by that. I think it gives more of an impression of it's a performance version of the track, and she's the artist that's being represented, which I would then say, well, with the type of track it is and the wordplay it is, it would be hard to not go this route because of how the song is structured. Because I would think to go this route too, because we do know later there's an artist challenge where you have somebody that is the representative artist and everybody does the backup work choreo, and then whoever wins, that's the choreo that's in the music video. Like, that was with Jessie and it was with Wassa. So I do expect that to happen here. So I do think on Ko, if that's a note where it feels like she's just an artist and they're backup for her, and that was and it gives that impression, even though there's a challenge that represents it, I will rebuttal the type of track that it is. It's hard to not go that route. But then I will then say, there's certain sections that feel clunky and the transition and the flow is broken because it feels like, okay, we're showcasing our dancers now, but you've tone set all the way until that point that you're the feature and you're the artist and you're still singing, but you're not there. So it needs to be that case. It's either you change up the environment to showcase your dancers, which we do end up seeing, or you are in the shot too, just subtle, watching, posing, enjoying while they're dancing. There's like little things like that. They'll accent with the hips, so it's nice. So I like that part with the hips. It's feminine, like this right here. This is Chloe, right? Like, this is showcasing your dancers. Like, that's awesome. That's such a cool shot. Like, that's a really cool shot. I'm a criminal, with a brush down. And then right here, we have 2 of them be dancers. Do you notice this is like our dancers are being showcased now because we have really cool cinematic things to compensate for that, right? Yeah, right there, the party work is cool, the little brush is cool. They hit it over, full. Da-da-da-da-da, which is nice. And I like how she paired them 2 together because they were the ones that had the more masculine type of choreo. So I think that was being very considerate of your dancers. So thank you, Ko, for that. That was cool. They go and they move around. Then you have your group of 4 right here. They go bring it over. Da-da-da-da. Who knew we'd see the day to have a HANOIXGIRLS F.E.D collab? Look at that. Not collab, but like you see them partner together. Look at that. So look, with the red gloves, I've talked about this. It makes you so sensitive to seeing what this looks like, right? So then they expand it around, rotating. I did that in my stuff. Love that, rotating it through. Love the gun imagery. I'm here for it. I did a huge play on guns too, because criminals is like, hey, get out my way, but more suave. So that was nice, with the switch on that is fun. That makes it give the impression that we're not, that she's dancing with them and she's not the feature. But she's mouthing the words to it. That's another thing that I'm catching. That's why it feels like that feels like that. Does that make sense? And they're both mouthing the words except for Mayonnaire. So, no, so it feels like it's a group now, like a group concept shoot. A group performance video, like, or the music side. I hope I'm making sense with what I'm saying. So drop down is fun, me with my stilettos on. I'm a criminal. Like, that was a cool shot. I wish there were more shots, like, outside of this. I feel like we prolonged this, and I don't know if that's on her. I think, like, all these other shots that were happening in the later half, God, I wish we had a more embedded, or I wouldn't have felt so disconnected in that beginning. Not beginning, but, like, first section. Like, that part's fine. Bump, bump, bump. This is good. Like, that's good. Well... yeah. Look at Mayonnaire go. Come on, girl. Yeah, bump, bump, bump. And guess who finishes down? Mayonnaire does, not our feature, which is interesting. And I like how they drop it to that black and white with the red and the bleed away. So I'm going back because I keep talking about it, so I don't know if I quite made it very clear. This beginning, sick. God, like, I wanted more, like, why couldn't we have done more of these types of artistic shots in the black and with the red accent? Like, that is so freaking sick. And then we go, like, it feels like it's a music video, right? Like, this is cool. This is sweet, you know? Like, this feels conceptual. This feels like an artist because of your props. Yeah. And then from here, we go into, I think it was, that part's great. That was fine. Now it was this section right here. This is the one section that was a big, it wasn't even a big turnoff. It was a situation where I was like, what happened to all this incredible cinematic shots, right? Is this on Co? I don't know. I don't know who was able to call the shots on that at all. And that's life. We just have to be okay with that. But that's my big thing. We could have had the Chloe moment here. Do you know what I mean? Like, with a switch over. Like that right there. Boom. Because she's in the front. Boom. Cut to Chloe at this point instead of where it was. You know what I mean? Now this right here, now you have, she's still your main dancer. Did she want it to be us four? But then we have this moment right here, which is cool. I just think, I don't know who, like I said, I don't know who was in charge of the editing side of the video, but I would have made more color grade decisions on that. That right there was a perfect opportunity to cross dissolve into a black white and then cross dissolve back into the full color. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's little moments like that that could really marry what you just set up in the very beginning into this. But can co-control that? I don't know. And that'll be something that you guys will probably help me with. And I'll watch the episode today, even though I'll know your feedback probably after that. But yeah, like, the choreo looks cool in general. And then she's making it as her own moment. I'm not even fine. Why is that? Because Co's in it. You know what I mean? And she's the main dancer in it, so it makes sense. God, it's so fun. But then even this here, because we already had a whole section with no deviation from the color grade, the environment, or the fits, it feels like a run-on sentence, a flow, right? Because right here you had cut, different. And then this, we just bled it over and we kept bleeding over. And then all of a sudden we went back to this. I needed this earlier, which is why I told you that whole part with Chloe. You literally could have had that place where Chloe was. Like, this is a cool shot. I needed that earlier, right? I think it's that. Like, the second half, incredible. I love the second half. Keep the second half what it is. Is that whole first verse, not first verse. Right after the first, right after this. So from second 29 all the way until 57. So 30 seconds of this was in the same environment with same costume and same overall color grade. Something needed to happen there in the flow because they were already setting the expectation on the frequency of flow shift in the video side. And they should have done it on with the rest of it. Is it on them? I don't think so. I think I'm calling whoever did where's the credits? Here we go. Who was in charge of editing this? Okay, Antsy Art, if you guys are on this is my note to you. This is not on Co. What I am saying is not on Co. There should have been a shift in the color grade. You have a color grade, a colorist. I can't pronounce your name, so sorry. We should have really utilized those 30 seconds more effectively, made some different cut choices there, because I think it would have set the whole group up on the concept that co-directed up for more success than it was. But I will say, outside of the 30 seconds that I was talking about that felt disconnected, and I couldn't appreciate the choreography as a choreographer because the flow it felt too much on the cinematic side. Like I wasn't able to appreciate what I was seeing as much. So that's my big note to anti-art, not to Co. In general, Co did a pretty great job on the choreography. It was giving like a hint of Jojo Gomez on it, which is that an inspiration? I don't know. But I also will say this, like I have said every time we've brought up Criminal, I am coming at it from the lens. This is the concept that I was thinking when the song, I heard it and I choreographed my choreo to this song was with this. As you can see what I'm wearing, it's giving that I just need some red gloves and I could be in the routine. Do you know what I mean? We're here for it though. The color grade, like this right here, your colorist, give them a freaking raise for that though. This is sick AF. Oh my God, this shot right here, these were cool. Not that's fine, but like this right here, the switch up, like where was this in those 30 seconds? Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I wanted to see. And then these shots, like, oh my God, like whoever, the colorist, chef's kiss, hats off to you. I think whoever was in charge of the actual cutting and splicing, we needed more of this. Okay, leader, here we go. I have no idea what this is going to be going in. Let's go. The leaders, energy. I totally would expect this to be called Fever, but it's not. So they're keeping salad stuff. So they kept it, so that's good. That was a really cool shot. Big F.E.D and Hanoi dance together. Oh my God, that's funny. Cool, that was cool shots. Okay. Woo! That was cool. Cool. I mean, let's think for ourselves, everyone. Who do we feel? Oh, we're still not done. We're in the car, and we drive off. So cool, nice. I mean, that was pretty decent. That was pretty decent. Like that was not. Ooh, you know, did that feel more like a? It felt. Once again, I said this about Criminal. I'll say about this one. It feels like a performance version of a. I guess in this context, like a Vietnamese group. The leader, she didn't stick out enough for it to feel like she was a main dancer. She was just circumstantially placed in the front more often. That could just be chalked up to her direction history. I don't think how this was directed was inherently subpar or anything like that. For me, I think it's whenever you have somebody in charge and they choreograph or they direct something, it's really most of the time I'm not going to dog it. And you remember if you looked at what I was talking about in Criminal, I wasn't dogging the production of it. I was dogging the video editing of it and how it didn't help advocate for Ko's flow that she did in her choreography direction. That's what I was talking about. I was actually going up to bat for F.E.D a little bit on that. If people are kind of like, it feels a little bit boring, that's kind of not on her, you know? So in this context here, I can see people saying that the choreo is boring and redundant, but also the cinematic shots, like I've said that, I mean, I could say that about a lot of choreography in a lot of different cases, but I don't. Why is that? Because with performance versions, what I've noticed in the K-pop scene specifically, they are spliced, they are cut, they are, you know, dismembered, XYZ, all that kind of stuff. And the choreography was made specifically to be shot on camera. It was not made for a fixed cam dance practice, what I'm used to seeing. So the expectations on your choreography transitions, your levels, your format in general is very different when you're dealing with like a K-pop group. But this feels like I would be expecting a dance practice fixed cam because of how it is structured. Does that make sense? Now, is that really the case? Well, people say, hey, this is giving a little bit similar to Bada's Smoke. I mean, you got the biker fit, so there's a little bit of that. You know, I understand that. They're running across on the LED. So like this is a cool shot. I would say this right here, the beginning of it, color grade is nice. Like the color choices that they do in the editing, oh my god, probably some of the best in the color choices. Fever. But you look at this choreo. This is Salad's choreo. It looks just like Oops's choreo. Does that make sense? It doesn't feel out of place, which then comes with the question, if they're saying Oops' choreo was too simple, you got to call Salad out for it too. You should have picked somebody else's choreo. I still feel I would have picked Swfv's, but I haven't looked at the uncut choreo comparisons yet. That's coming after we're looking at this. I'm going to probably, I'm going to do the leader one, and then we're going to watch the episode all in one day for me, but that'll be released later. Y'all are going to see this today. Oops and Salads do not look that different. So now begs the question, you can't blame Oops for her basic choreo when you guys chose Salad's choreo that's giving the same energy. Pun completely and unintentionally put here. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's my thing. I know they're going to say, oh, her choreo is XYZ. They don't respect her. So they're going to say whatever they want to say, you know, and that's unfortunate. Is it captivating? Honestly, it's not the most captivating choreo in the world. So especially for leaders, people are going to probably be disappointed in it. I get it. I think choreographically the best one was probably the middle with all the numbers because of the layers and how they formatted it and everything. It felt like a dance concept to me. Criminal was cool. I mean, I like the concept of it for obvious reasons of what I've talked about already. Some of the choreos is nice. It does have a Western feel to it, which is cool. I think the Rookie is definitely cute, dainty. It does remind me. It does feel like a lot of these tracks feel similar to other Street Fighter tracks in the past. They don't feel like they're in their own lane. I feel like Criminal out of all of them do. But all the other ones, like the middle feels like Waxy and Yoonji's. I feel like this one feels like Bada Smoke. I feel that the Rookie feels like Street Woman Fighter Season 2's Rookie class. And I feel like, yeah, and Criminal's the only one that feels different. To me, at least, because it's a different type. It's like a classy, thievery, mischievous. It's not like Latrice's R&B vibe. You know, it's still sensual, but different genres of sensual. Does that make sense? And I think that's probably why I think I like Criminal the best in the song and how it was structured for, in that sense. When it comes to a dance concept, I think Middle was best in the density of choreography for professional dancers. Okay. Well, no. No. Yeah, the melt is nice. Yeah, formation, they're just basic. Basic formation looks fine. And her K-pop cover choreo background could equate to why some of these choices feel like I'm watching a K-pop performance video. Yeah. But it feels like it's a collective of all of them are contribute. All of them are mains, not just her, which backfires on Oops. Like we can't blame. There's really no one to blame. It's just unfortunate. If she wants to be main dancer, it's not formatted to set her up for as much success on that. Boom, rotating it around. She has her moment, bring it through. Cool. It's still simple, running on basics, tipping in. Yeah, but notice even with all of this, notice we're still cutting. So I don't know with anti-art, I don't know what was going on with Criminal, but here you guys are doing a great job on cutting between XYZ and all this stuff. You know, bring it up and down, yep, and over. Shout out to Miss M for doing this freaking thing in a skirt. Bless it. Yeah, the little brush is fine. Energy, yep, a little heel toe coming out of that. This shot. sick. And dig on that into the different shots. Just dig, simple choreo. Yeah, I would expect them to be singing too. That's why I keep thinking that, is that it's simple but still full, to where you're not hitting too many polyrhythms, so you can sing as part of your polyrhythm. So this could work in her favor, honestly, Miss Oops, for the K-pop challenge, more so than in this challenge. That was nice. Da 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 da. High and low. So that was a nice little moment with those two. Hit and over. They go through. Nice little partner moment. Through and swinging it over. Yeah, T. So that was a nice little pop-up moment. They throw it. Now let's fight a little tripod shots. Yeah, with a little big in, and then we go nice subtlety. I like the personality of that, but because everything was kind of riding on whole counts, half counts, not really on the Indiana ones and two, like we're not sinking into it polyrhythmically in content, this moment doesn't stand out as much as it could for that reason. Because everything else is. This little section right here is probably one of the coolest sections of all of them. Right here, go back in, she comes over, boom, ding, 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 bending it in, the reset, the little thread is cool. And then she does the kick, the little pickup right here, rotating that. She comes up, fever, da da da. No. So that's like, yeah, it's fine. Fever. Yeah, it's nice. It hits the fever. It hits the vibe well. And yeah, the little water effect was nice. It's a little safety hazard. And look at him go. That very subtlety with the arms. That's fine. The pull is cool, and then right here to a group. Fever. Yeah, tap. Simple, boom, boom, with the finish. Cool, and we go and we drive off. So I would say this one definitely is one of the simpler ones, which people are going to chalk up to, what is it? Because it's the leader class, it should be the most complex. I mean, leader is a different skill set. Like, I understand the context of leader being you have to set an example, so it should be the best one, meaning set the example for the rest of the groups. But also, I don't know. This is just so interesting, isn't it? It just goes back to, if you wanted to avoid oops taking it, then pick a choreo that is not as easy to steal. Or, like, I think that's what I can't get over, is that she kept salads in, and it looked like her choreo. So we can't sit here and say her choreo is less than. Then you gotta pull salad into that mix too, and that's not fair to her, and that's not fair to her. Like, is it simple for what this is? In my humble opinion, it's whatever it is. Like, we're not gonna change it. I mean, I think that some people are gonna be disappointed. I understand that. Am I disappointed? Not inherently. I think there's some really cool moments in it. But is this the most captivating dance video in the world? No, it's not, but also you have to think with Bada's, because it does feel similar in that sense. Bada's had more complexity, and she has significantly more direction experience than everybody that's on the show. So with all the leaders that were part of, the Street Fighter franchise, even with Noze, she has experience being on set as a dancer, working on set, and choreography experience. Like, everybody has choreography experience, and pretty much Bada especially, and Vata, they have experience on the movement direction side of things too, especially Bada. So it doesn't surprise me that hers was such a tier that was established because of her experience there. She knows how to format it to make it work for what she wanted it to be. With Dolan, she had to learn that because she's used to covering people who do that. She's not used to doing it herself. She knows how to direct something that already exists, but creating her own choreo and then creating, like, making the shots, not just auditing something that already exists, is a different skill set, right? So that's why I said way back in the beginning of all this with this challenge, the challenge reward doesn't match the challenge requirements, is my point. I'm not dogging this at all. She still deserved to get main dancer. Do I think she needed to be the director of it? I think it turned fine. It's just not, it doesn't feel like a dance concept shoot. It feels like a group. It doesn't feel like main dancer either, which is on, that's against her, she doesn't get to stand out, and that's her choice. But it's, it feels complete, but it feels more complete than, what is it? The middle one. The middle one just felt like choreo at the end, and then the camera panned it away, you know? I don't know. This is very interesting, and I know a lot of people probably have a lot of opinions about it. I mean, as you heard, I have lots and lots of opinions. But remember, at the end of the day, we're celebrating art, we're celebrating dance, we're celebrating the fact they're under a high degree amount of stress. There was probably a lot of beef, a lot of issues that happened with this. I expect the drama to be dramatic, but I don't necessarily feel like a video was like, how dare they do this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. All of them high quality. All of them hold their own in the scene, you know, and I think all of them are... They did a great job. Like, all of them matched the tracks pretty decently. So that's why I'm like, I'm not really super upset about it, but I know they may be. But that's a whole nother topic we'll get into with the episodes. But I enjoyed my time with this, and I am looking forward to learning the rest of these. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Like I had said with Criminal, I have learned, I have done my own choreography to it. So a lot of my feedback is specifically pertaining to that. So if you want to see my specific scope on it, it is on Shorts right now. I will be doing a just take on all the choreos I've already done Marshmallow. So that's why I didn't touch on like the content as much, but I could really see like who's with who's on that and see how they integrated it. It was really fun there. But I will be learning the other three in due time, which I'm excited for. And I'm excited to hear from you. Which one was your favorite? Like I said, I think the color grading, I really liked the sub leaders color grading. I think when it comes to content, I do think that the middle group's content was the most pro dance affiliated, is what it felt like in energy. But I really liked the vibe of the rookie class too. It kind of met the expectations that you would expect on a track like that. And then the leader just felt, I mean, it met the expectations, I think, for me, in who was doing it and what the result was. So I don't really have a lot of like negative thoughts about it. So, but yeah, you guys know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.